Hello, this is Elif from ARIQuestions.com. Before I start today, I would like to share a quick disclaimer. In this video, I will solve a question provided in the free NCARB Practice Exam for the PCM division. I'm sharing this content solely for educational purposes. So this question is NCARB's intellectual property and I'm not claiming ownership of it. I highly encourage you to explore NCARB's free practice exams, and let's dive in and solve the question. So today's question is a PCM question. An architecture firm is awarded a project for an addition to an elementary school. Project details follow. Negotiated fee percentage is 5%. Construction budget is $5 million. Gross fee profit is 10%. And consultant expenses are 35%. The firm now wants to manage the available architectural fee with the hours required to complete the project. What is the available architectural fee? Option A is $137,500. Option B is $146,250. Option C is $162,500. And lastly, option D is $187,500. So please pause the video here if you would like to solve the question before I do. But I will continue with the correct option and the solution. The correct option is option A, $137,500. Now let's look into the solution. I picked this question because I want to compare NCARB's solution to mine to share a shortcut that I believe could save you time with not just PCM but other math questions as well. Let's compare NCARB and my solution. NCARB in step 1 finds the negotiated fee, which is the 5% of $5 million. And when you do the math, negotiated fee is $5 million times 0.05, which is equal to $250,000. In step 2, they find the consultant expenses, which is 35% of the negotiated fee. So consultant expenses should be $250,000 times 0.35, which makes it equal to $87,500. In step 3, they subtract the consultant expenses, which they just found, from the negotiated fee, which is the total money that the architectural firm have in hand for this project. So $250,000 minus $87,500 is $162,500. In step 4, they continue to find the gross profit, which is the 10% of the negotiated fee. So the gross profit equals to $25,000, which is a 10% of $250,000. And lastly, in step 5, they find the available architecture fee. And to find that, they subtract the $25,000 gross profit from the $162,500. And then the answer is $137,500. I think there's a much faster way to solve this question, especially when you look into these big numbers. Imagine that in the test center, you have to plug in all these numbers into the calculator, right? And that calculator, the NCARB calculator, is very clunky. So you are going to spend a lot of time to type in these big numbers. In my opinion, that's a bit counterintuitive, and there's a much easier way to solve this question in a much faster way, which will not make you spend or waste so much time on the calculator. So in my version, in step 1, I do the exact same thing. You have to do that. You cannot skip this step. So I find the negotiated fee as NCARB does, which is $250,000. We all know that now. In step 2, though, I do something differently. This is where the trick happens. Instead of calculating the percentages separately, I find the percentage of all expenses. So I have 35% of consultant expenses and I have 10% of target profit, which brings me to a total of 45%. So in step 3, I deduct the expenses from the whole to find the percentage of architectural fee that's available. So I do 1 minus 0.45, which is 0.55 or 55%. So what is available to me is 55% of the $250,000. And when you do the math, $250,000 times 0.55 is $137,500. So it's the same answer with a much less involvement of a calculator. Because the whole thing is 1, right? So the $250,000 is the 100% of the budget, right? So when you deduct the 45%, you are left at 55%. And the question is asking you what is available to you after the expenses. So why would you waste time finding expenses one by one and deducting from the total? Instead, you go with what's available to you immediately. And to be honest with you, step 2 is not even including calculator. You don't need a calculator to put 35 plus 10. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you the best of luck with your studies and exams. Please subscribe to my channel to see similar videos. And until I see you next time, I wish you all a great day. Bye-bye.